Scale drawings, scale up or scale down. This is a digital lesson, and this one is winter themed. It's a lot of fun for the students. They can make their new drawings using the fill color feature of Google Slides. Slide 2 explains what a scale drawing is, and then it gives the students some vocabulary. And they're going to need this vocabulary on the final slide, so they can refer back to slide 3 if they need to. And starting on slide 4, they're given a rectangle shape here. They have to scale this up by a scale factor of 2. So that means they're going to take the units on each side and they're going to multiply by 2. So to do this, they're going to click and hold in one of the squares, and they're going to just slide across until they have a 6 by 4 rectangle. Once they have it highlighted, they're going to come up to the fill color feature, and they can choose any color they like. Now they've scaled up this rectangle by a scale factor of 2. So before they move on, you want them to look at what happens to the perimeter. So they're going to count the units around the smaller rectangle. So that would be a total of 10 units. So they're going to type in a 10. The larger figure, if they count around the outside, they're going to get a perimeter of 20 units. So you want to point out to the students that what happens to the perimeter when they scale up by a scale factor of 2, they just multiply the perimeter by 2 by the scale factor. The next one is a little bit more difficult shape. Here they have to scale up by a scale factor of 3. So each of these sections, each side, is going to be multiplied by 3. So they can only do a rectangle shape at a time. Again, they're going to highlight, click and hold in one of the squares and highlight what they want to fill in. Choose any color they like. And then they're going to finish this. Until they get a figure that's scaled up by a scale factor of 3. Okay, let's see. There we go. And again, we're going to look at the perimeter. So if they count the perimeter around the smaller figure, they're going to get 10 units. This time, because the scale factor is 3, the larger figure will be 30 units. And you can see that the perimeter has increased by multiplying by the scale factor of 3. And then they get another shape that's a little bit more difficult. You might want to do this one with the students, or at least start it for them. So each one of these squares we're going to multiply by 3. So it would be a 3 by 3 square here. And if we go all the way down, let's try that one again. If we go all the way down, it's going to look like this. And the same thing going across. So they'll get a scaled up figure that's scaled up by a scale factor of 3. Again, they're going to count the perimeter of the smaller figure and then see if they can predict what the perimeter of the larger figure is going to be. Now, slide 7 is just a recap. When the scale factor is 2, the perimeter of the new figure is 2. They're just going to type in 2 times the perimeter of the smaller figure. When the scale factor is 3, the perimeter of the new figure is 3 times the perimeter of the smaller figure. Okay, now we have a different shape here, and this time our scale factor is a fraction less than 1. That means the new shape is going to be smaller, and we're going to multiply the units on each side by 1/2 or divide by 2. So that means each side is going to be 3, but we have a center that we're not going to fill in. So this one is scaled down by a scale factor of 1/2. The next one's a little bit tricky. This is an arrow shape. This one we're going to be moving these pieces into place in order to scale down this arrow. And it's a scale factor of 1/2, so each of the sides you're going to divide by 2. It's a little bit tricky because we have some diagonal pieces. So you want to explain to the students that we're going to start at the bottom here. That would be the easiest. If this bottom figure is, or this line at the bottom of the arrow is 4 units, if we divide by 2, it will now be 2 units. So they're going to click and hold on one of these pieces, move it into place, and if they hold on one of these blue circles, they can move that line. They can make it longer, they can make it shorter, they can move it into place. These sides are 4, so if we divide by 2, these are now going to be 2 units. These little pieces are 2, we're going to divide by 2, they will now be 1 unit. It takes a little bit of practice on these until they get these in the correct place. Now once they get this part finished, they want to find where the tip of that arrow is going to be. So if we count from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that means the tip of the arrow, if we divide by 2, will now be 4 units up from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the tip of the arrow is going to be right here. And that all we have to do then is just connect these sides. And we have another arrow shape, scaled down by a scale factor of 1/2. On the next few slides, we're going to be looking at what happens to the area when we have a scale drawing. So this one is just a square shape. We want to scale it up by a scale factor of 2, so now we're going to have a 6 by 6 square. So they want to highlight that, fill it in with a color. And if we look at the area of the smaller figure will be 3 times 3, or 9 square units. The larger figure will be 6 times 6, or 36 square units. And you want to point out to the students that what happens to the area is we're going to multiply by the scale factor squared. 2 squared would be 4, so if we multiply 9 times 4, we get 36. And they're going to do the same thing on another shape on the next slide. And then a little recap again. So when the scale factor is, and they're going to type in 2. The area of the new figure is 2 squared, or 4 times the area of the smaller figure. When the scale factor is 3, the area of the new figure is 3 squared, or 9 times the area of the smaller figure. On the final slide, they're going to be moving these terms into place, in the correct place in the sentence frame. So a blank is a drawing, so they're going to click and hold on the edge of scale drawing. And they're going to do that with all of these terms and place them into the correct place. So that is a digital lesson, Scale Drawings, the winter version.